This is your teacher, Paul. I'm in Chelan, Washington today and trying something different for my channel, streaming as I'm traveling. And I'm not sure if this is set up the right way. If you are watching this right now, you can tell me whether or not the camera is positioned properly. Let's see, if I hold it like this, I can't see the chat notifications. Is it better like this, Raphael? It's better if I did it, so I can't do this, because that gives me the landscape view. Hi, Natalie, how you doing? So if this looks okay, then I'll just use this. I'm in the state of Washington, traveling. You can see behind me Lake Chelan and some mountains over here. Portrait view is okay. All right, I'll use that. I was going to use my laptop, but I can't see the screen. So I've been traveling the last few days from Minnesota. I traveled through North Dakota and Montana, Idaho, and now I'm in the state of Washington. This is the eastern part of Washington state. So it's not Washington, D.C., it's the state of Washington. And I'm visiting my son here. He lives in this part of the country. It's really a beautiful area. I've had a chance to go to several vineyards where grapes are grown, and some apple orchards, and blueberry, I guess they're called patches. I don't know if you call it an orchard. And then visited some wineries where they make wine. And no, I'm not in a jungle, which is this tall grass behind me. I'm actually right next to a lake, doing this from a park. So you can see the water behind me. And this is actually the first time that I've used my phone to do this, to make the video. And I think it works out okay. It's easier to do this, perhaps by phone than using the laptop. Yes, the weather here is really beautiful. It's hot. It's expected to be in the 90s today. And if you have been following the news, then you know that this part of the country has experienced a lot of fires recently. Today, the sky is fairly clear, but in some areas that we drove through, we did see a lot of heavy smoke. And so California, Oregon, here in Washington, parts of Montana, in Colorado are experiencing forest fires because of the drought. And so when there's a drought, there's not enough water to keep plants properly hydrated. And if there's a fire, then they will very easily burn. So that's the situation that people are dealing with here. Great thing about the phone is I can get up and walk around. So as I said before, I don't do this. I've never done the video through the phone before, but you can kind of see where I am, and I'll just hold the phone up, give you an idea what this looks like. So it's a resort town, and there are a lot of people who come here for vacation, um, but they also, come here to visit the wineries, and it's the season for a certain fruit. You can get cherries at this time of year, and blueberries are in season, and I think peaches may be in season also right now. It's coming up on the beginning of the apple season, so apples will become ripe a few weeks, I think, for some of the early varieties. I always look forward to picking apples. I have a few apple trees, and where I live, the apples on one of the trees that I have are ripe in about the middle of August or late August. So I do see the comments, and as I said before, this is the first time I'm using this for making a video, so I'm going to be a little clumsy when it comes to communicating with people. I'm looking younger. Well, I got a haircut. Finally got my haircut, and that perhaps takes a few years off. I go to a person who is originally from Iran, and she's really good at what she does. So this haircut should last me a good 3 months, maybe 4 months. We'll see. It's interesting to see where people are coming from. Um, how can I learn English? Uh, you're learning it now. I think if you just constantly practice, listen, read, that helps. Going on YouTube can help. I think if you find a good book, and if that book has an audio, perhaps a CD or a DVD, that can help immensely. So I'm not going to be on for very long today. I'm just experimenting, and I think this looks okay. I always feel weird doing this stuff outside. Usually I'm in my office, but this at least provides a little bit of variety. Hi, Ramesh. A lot of people here from India and Sri Lanka, and I don't know if it looks like the image is getting dark for some reason. I don't know if it's okay or not. I think it's just my phone. I'm going to push this button here and see what happens. Yeah, I think it's still okay, but it looks dark. It was brighter before, and I don't know if that has something to do with my settings. So, hey Sergey, how you doing? Shabil from Pakistan. It's about, I think it's about 11 o'clock where I am right now. Let's see. Yeah, 11:04 in the morning. And I'm doing this from the Pacific time, the Pacific region of the United States. So this is 2 hours behind Central Time, which is when I usually do the webcasts. Hi, Plumika. Hi, Ali. It's good if you can mention where you're from, because then that gives me an idea. Hi, Mahmoud. I have not visited Egypt. It's good to practice English with simple questions like you're posing to me now, and or simple sentences just stating where you're from. I am from, and then the name of the country, or you can say, I come from, or I live in, and then the name of the country. Sometimes when you talk to people here, if they've immigrated from another country, then they'll say, I am from, or I am originally from, and then the name of the country, or I come from, and then the name of the country. So, um, I have not gone swimming yet. I'm probably going to go swimming this afternoon. The water here is pretty clear. Earlier this morning, I was at a restaurant that specializes in blueberries. A lot of the breakfast food had some sort of blueberry in it, waffles, pancakes, that kind of thing. Hi, Claudia from Mexico, Rafael from Brazil, and you'll give me a place to stay. Thanks. There are a lot of places I'd like to go, and lately I'm thinking that for the next website that I could maybe focus on, or have a portion of that website dedicated to traveling, and that would make it perhaps more interesting. I, short. I'm not ignoring your comment. I just didn't see it. And Claudia, yeah, I think I will try to make more videos like this. I'll take a look at it later and see if it looks okay. I just I feel self-conscious doing it, but there's nobody here. I'm sitting in a park. It's completely empty. And even if it were not empty, then I think it'd still be okay. Because nowadays, um, a lot of people, which still seems a little odd to me, but perhaps not for younger people. So I remember when phones were still on the wall, and if you wanted to call somebody, then you had the dial tone, or rather the dial, and then that dial would spin, and then go back, and you'd hit the next number, and then the dial would go back, and now all of that's changed. I assume most people here probably use a smartphone of some sort to make phone calls. Although I still have a wall phone that I use. Rosloff, I thanks for your offer to help me with the website. Um, I'm still deciding on what sort of editing software to use. I think I'm going to go with WordPress. The last website, learnamericanenglishonline.com, I made with Dreamweaver, and it was a fairly old version of Dreamweaver. And when you go to that website, it has been converted over from Dreamweaver to something else, and I didn't do that, so I'm not sure how they put that together. But I am going to start working on a new website. Uh, Dragon. How hot is it here? It's 90, about 90. It was hotter. When we first arrived, it was about 100. And I guess last week, my son told me that it was about 110. And I think they had a day that was 115. So I'm hoping that everyone starts taking climate change more seriously because it's a, you know, obviously it's a real thing and has been for some time, but human beings are slow to react to a crisis, unfortunately. So, stop now. I've done this for about 15 minutes. I just wanted to experiment, give it a try, and I'll take a look at this later. I just want to get an idea of what the quality looks like. That mostly just the resolution, and I can't really see because of the reflect. So yes, I will try to do more daily conversations. Just have to think about the content because it should be focused. I think on something, a topic, a daily topic, and I think I'm good for about 15 minutes of talk before I start repeating myself. So I'm going to end it here. Have a good day, everyone, from Chelan, Washington, and I'll come back later.